Let me show you the power of Talos Stormcrown, born of the north, where my breath is long winter. My name's JR, and welcome to Warframe Built to Destroy. Hey, what's up, pups? We're back with the season finale of BTD Season 2. Well, I say that, but I'm actually planning on making a sort of spin-off video to actually finish off Season 2 based on a comment I got a while back, but shh, that's a secret. Either way, since we're on the topic of comments, there's one specific comment that I'd like to put in the limelight. I'm not going to say the name of the commenter just in case they don't want themselves to be put on display for the world to see, but I felt like this needed to be shared with the rest of you. The shorthand version is that they said they wanted a comic version of your love for Zephyr, the word your obviously referring to me, with me as my operator and Zephyr as my own personal Warframe unique to me. Although the whole me as my operator thing kind of complicates things, seeing as how my operator is female. But anyway, the commenter went on to elaborate, saying that the comic would follow through my first experiences with Zephyr all the way up until, quote, the soulmate relationship style view you have of her. This may not have been what the commenter meant, but I interpreted it as they wanted to see Zephyr x Jericho related stuff. To be perfectly honest, I'd be okay with that. I think it'd be interesting to see how people portray Zephyr and I. I'd especially like to see the comic you mentioned be brought into reality. So fuck it, we're making this a thing. The hashtag Zephico ship has officially set sail. Go crazy. If you end up making something like this, share it with me on Twitter with the hashtag Zephico, and we'll see if this actually takes off. But this isn't why you're here, so let's actually get to the show. Last episode, I built Sindu Prime, and one of the reasons I mentioned I built it specifically was the fact that free Prime with Prime brought it back into action. With that in mind, I immediately knew which Warframe I was going to build next. There's no point in beating around the bush at this point, so here he is. Frost Prime. Frost Prime is, obviously, the Prime variant of the Warframe Frost, whose abilities, again obviously, center around ice and freezing cold temperatures. He is also one of the tankier Warframes with a base armor stat of 300, coupled with the highest base shield capacity of all the current Warframes, not counting overshield capacity, of course. While he does have above average armor and shields, Frost Prime does have an average base health stat and a below average sprint speed of 0.95. However, one of the great things about Frost Prime is that he comes with 1 dash polarity and 2 D polarities, one being on his aura mod slot, so that takes a bit of work off of the player. Oh yeah, that, and he has no mastery rank requirement, and if you have Twitch Prime or some money to burn, you can get Frost Prime, Soma Prime, and Sindu Prime just by linking your Warframe account to your Twitch account. Anyway, let's get into his abilities. Frost's first ability is aptly named Freeze. When cast, Frost throws out a projectile that, on contact with an enemy, freezes them in their tracks, dealing 350 base damage to the target and 150 base AoE damage to anyone close enough to the target. In addition, if you miss an enemy, or simply cast Freeze on the ground, wall, or another solid object, it will leave behind a frozen ice patch that slows down any enemies that walk into it. Freeze has a base duration of 15 seconds on the frozen effect and 12 seconds on the ice patch. Due to this, Freeze benefits from power strength and duration mods like Intensify and Continuity. The wiki doesn't seem to think so, but from my experience, Freeze also benefits from power range mods like Stretch, increasing the area of the ice patch effect. Frost's second ability is Ice Wave. When cast, Frost sends out a wave of ice spikes that deal 700 base damage and guarantee a cold proc on any enemy's hit. It starts out narrow, but grows wider the further it travels, starting at a base width of 3 meters and continuing to grow until it reaches the maximum distance with a base of 20 meters. Thusly, this ability is only affected by strength and range mods. Frost's third ability is probably his most well known, Snow Globe. When cast, Frost lays down up to a maximum of 4 spherical shields that measure a base of 10 meters in diameter. These snow globes have a base health stat of 5,000 with no duration. In addition, the armor of the snow globes is based off of Frost's armor stat, multiplying his armor by 5 and giving it to themselves. This is to say that with Frost Prime's base armor stat of 300, each snow globe will have 1,500 armor. Also, the globes slow down any enemies that enter it by a base of 67%, meaning this ability not only benefits from range and strength mods, but also armor increasing mods like Steel Fiber. Frost's ultimate ability is Avalanche. Avalanche freezes any enemies caught within a base range of 15 meters, then shortly after, shatters any enemies unfortunately caught in the sights of Frost Prime, dealing 1,500 base damage and causing small explosions on each of the frozen enemies that deal 400 base damage to anyone within the base radius of 4.5 meters. This means that if enemies are close enough to each other while Frost casts Avalanche, it could cause a chain reaction, dealing massive damage to anyone in range. As an added bonus, any enemies that survive the frozen detonation will stay frozen for 8 seconds base and will have their armor reduced by a base value of 40%. Much like the rest of his abilities, Avalanche benefits from range and strength mods, with the added note of benefiting from duration mods. Anyway, let's get to my build. I focused on making my Avalanche as effective as possible for my personal build, prioritizing strength and efficiency while slightly increasing duration. You may notice that my fleeting expertise is not maxed out. This is because if you do not have any negative efficiency mods, you can reach the maximum efficiency of 75% by equipping a max rank Streamline and a rank 4 fleeting expertise, so I never bothered maxing it out. Either way, I have Steel Fiber and Vitality to increase Frost's survivability, skipping redirection because of Frost Prime having more than enough without it. I then have Blind Rage, Fleeting Expertise, and Streamline to increase my strength and efficiency, with Primed Continuity counteracting Fleeting Expertise's negative duration stat, finally leaving Flow to increase my energy pool. Of course, you can put on Primed Flow instead if you have it, but I get along with normal Flow, so I never really worried about it. Alright, with that out of the way, let's see what Frost can do. That's going to wrap up this episode of Built to Destroy. If you enjoyed this video, consider dropping it a like, and make sure to hit that subscribe button to become a pup if you haven't already. My name's JR, and I'll see you guys in the next one.